Is World Heroes 2 for the Super Nintendo a mere footnote in the 16-bit arms race, or a lost Rosetta Stone that proves fighting games could be both impeccably weird and mechanically sharp? Rhetorical? Of course it's both, and neither. Schrodinger's cartridge, baby. Picture a Viking who sneezes icebergs at a Muay Thai legend, while a spectral pirate frigate photobombs the screen, and all of it squeezed into a 24 megabit slab of plastic that plugs into your childhood. Overhyped. Hardly anyone hyped it in the first place. Underappreciated. Let's just say the game's seesaw lifebar has swung further than a Smash Invitational after party, yet I'd call it quietly essential. The connective tissue between Street Fighter II's disciplined footsies and the self-parody of Clay Fighter. Yes, we already know you use Mudman's Tiki masks as an excuse to shout "Mud Power" at recess. Don't play coy. The real question, why did a game with ghost sharks, inflatable mystic fists, and button mash knockdowns fade into the background noise? Buckle up, we're about to time hop through history, mechanics, and legacy like Rasputin sliding on his own magic bubble boots. Historical context. Back in arcade year 1993, SNK's Neo-Geo cabinets were the Ferrari Testarossas of the pizza parlor scene. Glossy, expensive, and capable of vectoring entire allowances into the coin slot before you could finish your Surge soda. On 26th April 1993, ADK Alpha Denshi unleashed World Heroes 2 into that ecosystem, proudly flashing its brand new logo during the Attract loop, a corporate glow-up that gaming magazines treated like a studio album drop. In Japan, it joined a lineup dominated by Fatal Fury 2 and the soon-to-arrive Samurai Shodown, while in North America, Trade Rag Replay reported the sequel as the 5th highest earning kit by May 1993. Console-bound kids, however, needed Takara and Saurus to play middleman. The two companies had already ported SNK hits to the Super NES, with mixed results. Ask anyone who bought cartridge Fatal Fury day one and cried. Their SNES build of World Heroes 2 landed 1 July 1994 in Japan, and that September in the US, still boasting all 14 fighters and nearly every background layer from the 146 meg Neo cab. No small feat for a 24 megabit ROM. Period reviewers noticed, GamePro's Pro Review applauded the size fidelity combo, giving 4 5-point category ratings that total 17 out of 20, and joking the port was so faithful you had to look closely to see what, if anything, was lost. Electronic Gaming Monthly's review crew averaged 37 out of 50, approximately 7.4, and singled out the selectable bosses and adjustable speed as star perks. For me, and probably you if you haunted the local rental shop, the cartridge became the de facto substitute for an MVS cab we'd never own. The smell of cardboard sleeves, the phantom pain of late fees, the audacity of forcing a ghost pirate onto a 14-inch CRT. These are the tactile memories that feed nostalgia's furnace. Mechanics. Let's address the seesaw in the room, because it's my favorite absurd through line. World Heroes 2 keeps the basic 4-button footprint, weak strong punch, weak strong kick, but assigns the SNES's C equivalent to either throws or taunts depending on distance. That taunt is not cosmetic, it builds psychological damage faster than a Mario Kart Blue shell at a family reunion. Roster roll call, 8 originals return, and 6 newcomers crash the party. Captain Kidd, yes, the Ghost Shark Pirate, Eric the Viking Bruiser, Johnny Maximum the Homicidal Quarterback, Shura Nai Konamtom the Elbow Hurricane, Mudman the PNG Shaman, and Ryoko Izumo the Judo Prodigy. 14 distinct move lists mean 14 ways to delete your roommate's dignity. And if you punch in select A, up, R, up, select at the title screen, then hold select plus L or select plus R, you unlock Dio or Neo Geegus, the bosses, without a Game Genie in sight. Speed toggles run from brisk to borderline hyperfighting. Crank it up and projectiles become the gaming equivalent of dodgeball after 6 espressos. Projectile reflection and counter grabs elevate mid-tier zoning battles into psychological chess. Yet the chef's kiss wrinkle is deathmatch mode, a single life bar with an arrow that swings left or right as damage accrues. Tip it fully and your opponent drops, triggering a 10 count they must mash out of unconsciousness. Button gymnastics that make track and field look leisurely. Stage hazards, buzz saws, electric ropes, rolling barrels, add an environmental kabuki that would make Smash's Final Destination purists break into hives. Sound is where the compromises show. ClassicGames.net notes a lot of missing voice samples, leaving hits punctuated by muffled grunts rather than the bombastic Neo-Geo yelps. It's more accurate to call them compressed. Key samples survive, just leveled like they're being broadcast through a Game Boy speaker submerged in tang. Still, sure as elbow Shriek slices the mix, and Captain Kid's Shark Knuckle carries enough lo-fi swagger to register. A quick nerd metaphor break. Dio's teleport slash has more invincibility frames than a 3.5 edition D&D monk equipped with boots of speed, a ring of evasion, and whatever homebrew nonsense your DM lets slide. There, I said it. Legacy and influence. Did World Heroes 2 redirect the genre's river? Nah, it surfed right behind Street Fighter 2 Turbo and Mortal Kombat 2, never quite overtaking their cultural wake. Yet its fingerprints linger. The seesaw life bar concept re-emerged in spiritual form within SNK's own Samurai Shodown Guard Crush, and later in Bleach, Dark Souls on DS. Yes, the anime fighter copies WH2 more than it copies Street Fighter. Environmental hazards foreshadowed the stage dangers of Injustice 2 decades later. Captain Kidd walked so Aquaman could throw a shark. The cult hasn't slept. Hamster's ACA Neo-Geo release hit Switch eShop in 2018, letting modern players spend €7.99 to uppercut Joan of Arc in handheld mode. Preservationists cheered. Everyone else asked, why not King of Fighters? Forums like NeoGeo.com still host debates on whether World Heroes 2 is the series peak or if 2 Jet Speed Buff wins the day. Even 2023 retrospectives mention its unique death matches when ranking SNES fighters that aren't Capcom juggernauts. Meanwhile, the 24 megabit milestone keeps cropping up in hardware trivia threads. A 1997 Usenet list famously logged World Heroes 2 among the monster carts that proved the SNES could host faux Neo Geo spectacle without SVP chips. That raw size, 3 megabytes for the mortals counting, became a marketing bullet point leveraged by Takara and parroted by GamePro's write-up. Ask speedrunners today and they'll cite Ryoko's command throws and Eric's tornado hammer as scrub killer tools. Fast, safe, enormous hurt boxes. Ask digital archaeologists and they'll praise the code's stability. No random lockups, no missing sprites, marking it among the most technically confident SNES fighters of 1994, behind only Capcom's Super Street Fighter 2. Closing paragraph plus score. So where do we land on the seesaw? World Heroes 2 for SNES is a paradox. Faithful yet compromised, outrageous yet disciplined. Its roster brims with international caricatures who punch harder than the jokes surrounding them. Its deathmatch mode still feels like couch co-op caffeine, and its 24 megabit cartridge remains a monument to Takara's Neo-Geo for the masses ethos. Yes, the voice samples are crunchy, and the animation drops a frame here, a flourish there, but boot it today and the game's pulse is intact, pulsing like that life bar arrow swinging toward a 10 count. My final word, 7.5 divided by 10. Fire up the cartridge, invite a friend, and remember, when a ghost shark appears mid-uppercut, decorum is off the table.